Hi. So, yeah, I apologize for this, but I do have to go upstairs in just a moment. Um, so you might notice that there was a bunch of Nevada Day Parade videos posted on Saturday, November 1st, 2025. And there's a whole separate playlist for that, just in case you want to see them in order. If you don't mind not watching them in order, I don't mind you not watching them in order. But we just did. Okay, so we just did Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy. I did the family mode because, it's actually not Wheel of Fortune Jeopardy day. So I was like, we ought to do something else. We need to do it, but we ought to do the shorter version. So I did that. Did not do good at all whatsoever on Wheel of Fortune, but I did really good on Jeopardy. I was literally the only person who was actually playing Final Jeopardy, and I don't know why I was playing Final Jeopardy because it made no sense. But it was a good thing that I only bet a little bit of it because it ended up being patio furniture Pippi Longstocking. Anyway, then we did all of the hidden Mickeys for Fantasyland. And I got to go in there and uh, rename both of those videos because I didn't know what was going on for either one of those. Um, but yeah. Okay, so for Nevada Day, it was an odd kind of day because um I waited until pretty much last second. I can't even really say last minute. Um we waited, that freaking long to try to put as many of the videos from my phone onto my OneDrive and um some of it's stuff I want to keep, like the kitty cat videos, the deer videos, stuff like that. But then there's other stuff where I was just like trying to show my sister something, and I'm pretty sure there's some videos like that in there somewhere, and those can go. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go through that and figure it out. But anyway, I was trying to make enough room for the Nevada Day Parade. And so I only had like 50% battery by the time we went and started recording for the day. Well, I went and recorded like say 30 seconds. I have no idea how long actually. Um of the hot air balloons. They were literally, right in our neighborhood. It was awesome. One of them looked like it wasn't doing so hot though because all the other ones were like up in the air and you could tell that they were going to be okay. But that last one, it was too low. And I hope that they were okay. Um, anyway, I need to go upstairs, so I will be right back and then we can talk more. Oh, I've got two viewers. Or I had two viewers. Hi viewers. Do you want to entertain my guests? Wait, do you want to talk to them? No. Okay, I'm back. So, while I was up there, I was remembering we had one trick-or-treater. One. I got stuck with so much candy. I was a very bad girl yesterday. So, if I have too much sugar, it, like, kind of makes me feel yucky and run down. Not yucky tummy. Just makes me feel yucky. It's weird. But anyway, I came home from the parade yesterday because I didn't have time for breakfast. We had to get out there now. Well, turns out, no, we didn't. They didn't start the parade until 10. I totally forgot about that. So they didn't start the parade until 10, and that was quite annoying. But we got to okay, so I was trying to explain that we recorded the I should say I recorded the hot air balloons with my phone. Then we went across the street and up the street to the mall. It's one of those like outdoor malls. It's got, well, uh, outdoor, indoor. It's not like one of those 2 stories and the baby the baby stroller rental and all that stuff. It's more of an outdoor mall. But anyway, whatever. And there was a craft fair. I really meant to go back to it, but we didn't bring nearly enough water, and I ended up having to go to the bathroom with the first bottle of water. So we know next year to definitely bring more water than what we brought, which was an upgrade from the year before because I don't think I brought any, but whatever. Anyway, and everything on my phone I recorded upright because for some reason it will not screen rotation and record the way I want it to. I want to record it in full screen and it will not do it, and we don't know why. And Verizon wasn't really forthcoming on trying to help me figure out how to do it. They weren't interested. They didn't want to help me. Yeah. They're just like, that's weird, and left it at that. Like, it's not very important to me to get that element fixed, I don't know. But anyway, so, okay, so we did the recording of the craft fair and the car show with my husband's phone. And we've got to figure out today how to get that onto my YouTube. And, getting it onto his YouTube, that's easy. But getting it onto my YouTube, that's going to be harder, I think. Unless I go into his YouTube and download it. I don't know if I can download it, because I think you have to have YouTube Premium for that. I think we've got that, but I'm not sure. Anyway, and then we want to get all of my videos onto his YouTube as well. So that's going to be a big project for today. But anyway, we did the craft fair and the car show on his phone. And then we recorded the first half of the parade with my phone, two different, two different, or no, it was more than that. It was like 4 or 5 different videos because of the fact that they were playing God Bless America. So I was like, okay, I ought to record that. Well, I should know better that it's copyrighted music. And it said Martina McBride, but there's no way that was Martina McBride since she's the one that sings Independence Day. I don't think she sings God Bless America. I will. Hold on. I'm gonna ask Google. Okay. Yeah, I'm back, but oh, hi viewers. There's 2 viewers. Um, I'm back, but I still couldn't figure out um the answer to my question. Okay, I don't know if this is the only songs she sings. Because being a really well-known singer, I'm sure she's got more than this. But it shows that she sings Independence Day, In My Daughter's Eyes, I Can't Stop Loving You, Wrong Again, Whatever You Say, Anyway, Rose Garden, Blessed, I Just Call You Mine, How Far, There You Are, Valentine, A Broken Wing, My Baby Loves Me, Happy Girl, Till I Can Make It on My Own, Safe in the Arms of Love, God's Will, Love's the Only House, Will the Circle Be Unbroken, Chances Are She's a Butterfly, Life, Oh Holy Night, What the World Needs Now, When God Fearing Women. I can't get to show me the rest of the title. Well, whatever that title is. Uh, Wild Angels, Pick Me Up on Your Way, dot, 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 because it won't show me the rest of it. Where Would You Be? I'm Gonna Love You Through It. This One's for the Girls. And Concrete Angel. Where in there do you hear God Bless America? You don't. Really? Really, YouTube? She doesn't even sing that song, and you're saying that I'm getting copyrighted for it. Yeah, I realize God Bless America is a copyrighted song, but the least you could do is pick somebody who actually sings the song. Not every female singer is Martina McBride. Although she is a good singer. Although I don't like the idea. Okay, like if you actually listen to the words, that little girl's an orphan at the end of Independence Day, and now she's gonna have to go to an orphanage or go live with her aunt or something like that. She might even end up being the little girl in okay, I can't remember the name of the thing, but I actually think that little girl was supposed to be a younger person. Um, the one where the little girl's hanging out in behind the couch with the picture of Jesus, and it's because because her parents are always fighting, and that's a safe place. And then she goes to live with the Christian family, and they take her to church, and she's like, "Hey, I know that guy." Looking up at the picture of Jesus. That one makes me cry. I don't know if that's what it was supposed to do, but it makes me cry. Like, like, I think it's Christmas shoes. The little boy's talking how his mom's sick, and, you know, they don't know how much longer she's got, but that one really makes me cry. I mean, just thinking about it right now is getting me emotional. Um, but his mom, she's sick, and she's probably not gonna make it. And when she goes to heaven, he wants her to have these really nice shoes. So he doesn't have enough money, but the singer of the song, I guess, helped him out, helped him get these shoes. Yeah, I don't know why I'm being that emotional just talking about it, but yeah, that one always makes me sad. Anyway, the idea wasn't to make everyone sad. The idea was just to explain. But okay, so I was talking about, us recording yesterday. So, like I said, we used my phone um to record the hot air balloons. And then we used my husband's phone to record the craft fair part of it. And some people were still setting up. So I really feel bad. Go I was gonna go and go back there and hope that people had their signs up and stuff, because I'm guessing these are either home businesses, or I'm guessing that they're either home businesses or businesses that are here in town. Well, nobody had their signs up, so I was like confused about that for one. Even the people that had already had it established, I mean, already up and running, they didn't have signs up, and I'm used to them having some kind of sign saying what they're all about. Okay, so I'm sorry I'm sniffling, but like I said, those songs get me really emotional, and I start crying, and yeah. Um, but it's like, okay, with uh the song with the little girl behind the couch and the picture of Jesus, that explained what happened to the girl. But if you think about it, Independence Day does not explain what happened to the girl. And, I'm like, I'm left wondering, it sounds like a bad story. Right, a story that was written badly. That's what I'm trying to say. A story that was written badly. Because it does not say what happened to the girl. Of course, technically, um, The Wizard of Oz does not say whether Toto lived or not. And I don't remember Toto being in Return to Oz. So I don't know if he was or not. I know that I think it was in Return to Oz, she was, telling everybody about Oz like it was a real place. And, everybody's tired of her talking about her fictional place. And she got sent to the shock treatment farm, or whatever you call it. And that's not okay. Even if it was just the thing of she's, really good at using her imagination, they shouldn't have, decided to take care of it that way. I remember, like, of course, one of the things that I remember from that movie, and I don't like it, are the wheelers. Instead of having regular hands and feet, they have wheels. And I could see that part being very hard on an actor. But anyway, yeah, weird stuff. So we recorded the hot air balloons on my phone for like, 30 seconds, something like that. And then we recorded the craft fair and the car show, just like maybe 20 cars, but still, they call it a car show. With my husband's phone, and then we recorded the first half of the parade with my phone until it died, and then we recorded the next part with my husband's phone, until it overheated, and then I had to go upstairs. So I went home real quick, and my husband said something about my tablet was actually charging. So it turns out that the whole reason why it wasn't charging is because it wasn't the right cord. And it's like, no, I'm not charging without that cord. I'm like, okay. But I was like super happy because I had another device to record the parade on. So we got probably 80% of it. But 80% will, make a lot of people happy, I'm sure. 44 people have already watched 2 parts of the parade. Oh, and the parade has its own playlist, just like last year. I was gonna put it in as generically Nevada Day Parade, and then I was like, well, no, because if you're looking for 2025, you don't want to be watching 2024 stuff. And if you're looking for 2024 stuff, you don't want to be watching 2025 necessarily. So, anyway, last year had like 13 parts. This year is going to have a little more. I would have gotten more on my phone. And I am sorry, it's got that weird upright thing where it's got black on both sides. I could not get it to. I can't get my phone to record in a full screen manner anymore, and I don't know why. And Verizon didn't seem to want to help, so. That's a sister. Hold on a sec. Well, a few of them, but, Okay, my sister's complaining that the AI story generator is annoying because it keeps describing what people smell like. And, is that supposed to be sweet or sweat? I'm not sure, because sometimes she typos. And vanilla is its favorite. And it keeps saying that we know what is going on outside while Susie and Grayson are inside doing whatever. Okay. So, write it yourself. That's what I do. I don't use AI to make my story. Although, not yesterday, but the day before that, I was paying attention to part of my story, and I'm like, I don't necessarily think this is written all that great, but I kept it anyway. So it's like, like I wanted to change it, but then I'm like, but I need to finish. So yeah, I'm having a hard time of what should I change and what should I not change. Oh, and although we are coming up. Oh, I finally figured out something. We are coming up to the part with the party, and I haven't. Damn it! Dang it! One of those two. Hold on. And not that I'm complaining, but why do sisters decide to text you when you're... See, like this sentence, except for instead of a T, it was a Y. Um, oh, I can't read that out loud. Um, well, I can change it a little bit. Um, so there's cicadas in the area according to the AI, and they seem to be getting louder, showing their agreement as Susie got very excited about something. So, yeah. Oh, okay. So she's trying to use the AI to, for inspiration on how to write it even better. I thought you were writing it well on your on your own. It helps if you're asking a question, you actually put the question mark. Okay. So I found out that one of the parts in my story, if the table of contents can be believed. Oh, yeah. It's in there. Never mind, I was listening to it yesterday. Um so one of the parts of my story, um Sean is literally getting rid of the competition because he's the only pilot that they could find that was um well enough, because the one pilot had the flu and the other pilot, something else happened to him. Anyway, so they're taking their last airplane and Sean is going to fly their last airplane that can go to America. Um they're taking that airplane, and Sean's going to drop the passengers off wherever they need to go. Like, the one passenger needs to go to Texas because he's an American soldier. And I didn't say what kind of base, I just said military base. But since he flies airplanes all the time, it's got to be one that has airplanes. So it could be an Air Force base. Either way, I made up where it was. It's literally generically in Texas. That's all it is. I don't know of any military bases in Texas, but there probably is one, and if not, oh well, now you got one, fictionally speaking. um See, if I was going to put a military base anywhere, I probably would put it in Texas because of the fact that it's a big state. No other reason than that, just it's a big state. Um, but anyway, in Test and Love is where Sean is flying this airplane to get rid of Adam because in the chapter I just finished, Sam Crenshaw and his mom are going grocery shopping, and they almost crash into a guy named Adam Baker and his Aunt Molly. You know, everybody introduces themselves to the other people, and that's when they learn their names. Well, Adam well, Molly kind of invited Adam to Ashley's party, but anyway, Ashley's gonna have a costume party. You know, a just because party, but with costumes. And Molly says, you can go if you want. And she goes, or is it just for friends? Well, then anyway, it's decided that he's going to go. And so later that night, that's the next chapter, later that night, or no, later Friday night, it's gonna, bleh. Sam and Adam show up, and Ashley's doing her homework, so she can't really pay attention to both of them right then, but she will eventually. Hold on. That's another sister text message. So my sister answered that yes, there are cicadas in Texas because, you know, sometimes AI just doesn't get that, you know, like there wouldn't be alligators and crocodiles in, like, say, California. A I would, just for fun, I wasn't gonna actually use it or anything, but just for fun, I went and put in a sentence from one of my books just to see what the AI would come up with. And it did not come up with anything good because it came up with a joke. You, you know how you hear on movies, you know, two guys walked into a bar and, you know, you never get to hear the rest of the joke. Well, it came up with that, but you did get to hear the rest of the joke, and it was like I was trying to come up with a story idea here, or I was trying to see what it would come up with for a story idea, and all it came up with was a joke. And the funny thing is that it does not come up with like it didn't come up with what the people looked like correctly. Why would they? Because they weren't in the scene. But, I mean, because it wasn't mentioned in the scene that I put in. But, yeah, it did not come up with the correct stuff. So, again, why would they? But it's just the fact that it didn't, that, you know, made me stop wanting to use AI. I use that every once in a while to, just see what it comes up with just because I can, but so I have this idea and it will not form in my head the rest of the story, but that they somehow got on this island and they're living like it's a Renaissance fair, but but real. The all the inhabitants of the island, they do jousting, they do um sword fighting and all that stuff. Well, um and threaten to throw you to the lions if you don't cooperate or whatever. I realize that's like actually Roman Colosseum kind of stuff, but I mean that last one's Roman Colosseum kind of stuff, but stuff like that. And making their warrior, making the warriors entertain them by fighting each other, stuff like that. And I just really don't have any other ideas except for that this one thing. It's on an island, but they're they're fighting, and all of a sudden, instead of fighting, Sean climbs up this. It's kind of like the ship. How it comes to that pointy part, and I know it's a cruise ship, but it's the part where Jack and Rose, and she's like, I'm flying! That part. But on a pirate ship, it's got the long pointy thing that goes out in front of it. You know? Um, anyway, it's kind of like that, and it leads up to the window where Ashley's being held. But I got the idea that maybe their daughter Daisy's up there too. But anyway, Sean has to go up there and try to save them. And I don't know if I'm gonna have Sean save them, or if B, I'm gonna have him like be thrown in the dungeon or something like that. And somebody else has to go and save them. Like maybe it's Ashley and Daisy when Daisy's like 13, and um or maybe they're 18, but either way they're married because they um okay, so they're on the enemy pirate ship and they were told to kiss or the pirates were gonna, or the pirates were gonna kiss her. So, uh, so Michael chose to kiss her. Michael's her husband to be. At that point, he's a boy. Well, he's a boyfriend at that point, but he's also been adopted by her parents because his parents are not alive anymore, and or at least that's what they think. They're not alive anymore, and he's being raised by his brother, but his brother's not doing a very good job. Like, Michael's saying, "Hey, we need some food in the house," and Kevin's saying, "I'm asleep. Come back later." So anyway, um, Daisy, pretty much said, "You've got to adopt him." So they do, but like before they do that, they want to remind her this is not a puppy. you know, you know, this isn't a puppy that you take care of all by yourself. And I remember, uh, and Sean, I think it was saying, and I remember Pedro or whoever the puppy was coming up to me to get food last week. So, so anyway, but they do adopt him, and he becomes a family member, but he's still the boyfriend, but he's adopted by her parents. I know that's probably not making sense to some of you because all of a sudden he'd be a brother, but um, but the idea is that he's a boyfriend to Daisy and a brother to her siblings. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense, but it does all at the same time. But anyway, so eventually, um, like if you start kissing like that, then you don't want to stop. So they get pregnant with 3 babies, triplets, and I think they got married. Oh yeah, they got married while she was giving birth. Because she insisted that there were going to be no more babies if she didn't get married. So Michael, being the practical one, knowing that that's not going to happen, made sure that they got married. But anyway, that's not typical of my stories, though. Like Natalie and Romeo, they don't get married until they're 20 something. And so I made it like Natalie was a freshman in college in one of my books, but I definitely gonna have to change that to somebody else because it will make more sense that way. Because Natalie and Romeo were like in class together. They were in the computer class together. And so that probably means that they're in the same grade. So if they're in the same grade, then they're probably the same age. Or like say Natalie's born in December and Romeo's born in January. Uh, that might work out too. To where she's older, but I don't know. Anyway, I will work it out. I'm probably going to end up changing it to 2 other people, though. Like Zach and Denise, or Um, or Pepper and Raphael. Well, no, because I don't think Raphael's in that part. Uh, and he'd be in college. Unless he'd moved in by then. Oh, I don't know. I'm confused. Okay, so the thing is that I think I wrote Esperanza's party, and then I wrote the island, and then uh, I don't know if I came up with Lessons in Love or Test in Love first, but at one point I had Caught already written and what led up to Caught, but like I had one story that had Esperanza's party and um it had like the first 4 or 5 books in it already. But then I found out that that was like such a long book that it wasn't even funny. It was going to be longer than the longest book. So like longer than War and Peace, longer than the longest Harry Potter book. Um, I thought there was one that was over 1,000 pages, and I'm pretty sure there is, but I went and looked it up and it didn't say that, so I'm confused. But anyway, I am pretty happy because I woke up late yesterday. I was trying to wake up at 5 or 6 in the morning. Well, either his alarm didn't go off or or GOOGLE didn't understand the HG system didn't understand what he meant by alarm. Because setting the alarm for 6. Because I didn't know when or where the hot air balloons were supposed to go off, because I know for a fact that they went off from down the street toward Burger King last year. Toward the north side of town last year. Well, this year they decided to set them off from, or by the time I saw it, that's where they had ended up. I'm not sure which. But anyway, um, this year they set them off from the mall. And I thought that was really good. Um, but I wish I would have been able to record more of it. But I was trying to conserve my battery, so I don't record very much of it. Um, a lot of people have seen that video too. So I decided that I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I decided that I'm going to kind of reimagine. I'm going to try to keep it the way it's supposed to be, but I'm going to reimagine um, the castle in my Disneyland build to be a little bigger than it was last year. Because usually I build it, um, I like start building the outside wall and then I build the inside part um, with the Sleeping Beauty experience. And the big problem with that is that then you've got to fit it into a certain area, and I mean, like a certain amount of room, and it never fits. Although I did have it fitting very well. Very well. Um the one time. I think the last time I built it, I had it fitting very well. But and I think I want to have some kind of elevator system in there instead of what they've got. Um, Instead of what they've got, I want to go and put in something. I want to go and put in something to where handicapped people in a wheelchair could get there too. Because I think Disneyland ought to do that. They ought to figure out a way to get people up there. Although they did come up with a room, I think where the hat boutique used to was. No, actually, I think it's on the other side. It might be where the hat boutique was. It might be on the other side. I don't know which, but a something was there, and instead they've got this room that you can go into and watch a video of what's up there. A video is not the same as actually being able to go up there and seeing it. I'm just saying, it's not the same. When I saw it years ago when I was a kid, I think it's a lot different now. But when I saw it years ago when I was a kid, I was 7 when I saw it the first time, and I was 10 or so the second time. If I was 7 the first time, and okay, so it went in 1986, so I was gonna be 8 that year. So I was probably about 11. Yeah, I was gonna be 11, I guess. But I remember being 15 the last time we saw it, and 11 plus 3 isn't 15. Oh, yeah, so we went for my birthday, so I would have been 14. Well, if I was 7 the first time, I would have been 10 the second time. Which I don't remember being 10. I remember one time I was 15, and I just don't, the math doesn't add up. But whatever age I was, I saw it the first and second time I went to Disneyland, and we did not see it the third time I went to Disneyland. I think it was. I had been saying, I want to go to Disneyland, I want to go to Disneyland, I want to go to Disneyland. So they kind of took me for my birthday. But we went like the week before. That was the closest we could get it. It was the week before. And Dad's friends just happened to be there too. So I think we spent some time with them. I can't remember. But I think we spent some time with them, and we had a good time. I remember we went up and not the Swiss Family Robinson treehouse or the Tarzan treehouse, but a different treehouse, like in Frontierland or something like that. I don't remember where I'm talking about. I really don't. But I want to say that the Winnie the Pooh store was close to it, and that was before Critter Country. No, no, maybe they had made it Critter Country, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm confused. But but anyway, if you want to watch some of the videos from Disneyland that we've collected over the years, I do have like the rides. I do have the that's another reason why I need to uh okay, so I had this program called Roxio, and I was using it um for one purpose, but I was also using it um to take the Disneyland videos and bust them down. So, I had the rides on there and not the really fun stuff where my sister's going, Nokio! I just thought that was so cute. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jen, but but that was really cute. And it's probably embarrassing to you, but it's cute. Um anyway, so my we were at the firehouse, I think, and pretending we're driving the fire truck, and she sees Pinocchio from he's like on the other side of Main Street from us. I guess I don't remember seeing him, but um but so my brother's hanging off the um he's got a toy sword, and he's hanging off the side of the fire truck, and doing sword moves with his toy sword. And so my sister sees Pinocchio, and she goes, Nokio! She's only like 4 at the time, maybe 5. I think I want to say she was young. Okay, wait a minute. So if that was 89. Yeah, if that was 89, she would have been 5. Huh. I don't know. Because, like when you're 3 or 4, you say Nokio. When you're 5, you don't say Nokio. You're old enough to say Pinocchio. I don't know. I'm probably overthinking. But anyway, um, well, okay, she probably would have been 4 because it was just before her birthday. It was like uh April 9th when we started that trip, or that was the Monday, something like that. That was like the first day of our, or we went down there on Sunday and then started you know our thing on Monday. I don't know. Anyway, um I had it all figured out, and I haven't paid attention to that in years, so whatever. But yeah, she would have been 4 going on 5, so maybe she would have been in, saying Nokia instead. I don't know. But that's what she said, and it was really cute. And then my brother goes, "Where?" You know, all excited. Yeah. And then he goes back to sword fighting with nobody. Anyway, if they knew that I was, hey, I've got 2 viewers. Hi, viewers. If they knew that I was telling those stories, they'd probably get really super embarrassed, or try to convince me that they didn't do that. It's like, Dad's got video proof. So I want the, um, I want a copy of that video because it's part of a vacation we had all together, and I would not put up the stuff, where Jennifer's saying Nokia and Josh is saying where, and I don't know what I said. Um, but, I wouldn't put that stuff up. I would put the rides because I know that we had a lot of rides on there. But I really want a copy of that video because of because of the rides. I would, if everybody was okay with it, I would totally put uh, the cute little parts where it's, Nokia, where? And go back to sword fighting. I would put that if everybody was okay with it, but, that's not the idea. The idea is just to put up the video of the rides from 1989 because I have them from 1986 and I have them from 2000. But it's like I know I've gone there 2 other times and I want to be able to share the videos from then too. But my dad won't give me a copy of it, and I don't know why. But it's mostly the rides that I want, so I can put them on my YouTube. Um, you know, the other thing is that, from 2000, my sister and brother said that it would be totally fine for me to put our Disneyland video in its entirety because then we can see all the stuff from. I mean, I wish I had uh more recording ability back when, because like if we had the technology that we do now where I could just record hours on end um and put it together later. I think that would be so cool. But we didn't have that technology, so I didn't get uh me and my sister and my brother, you know, um hanging out very much. I didn't get mom on there very much. And I feel bad about that now. But at the time, it was like, I want to record the rides. I want to record the rides. And now it's like, okay, so if I record these rides, then I can, um, if I record the rides, then I can get, um, then I can build them in Minecraft and make them look even better. And I mean, not even better than what Disney did, but even better than the last time I built them. And, hopefully it'll be great. Um, I am still probably going to build it with, I don't know if I would build it with Snow White down with the dwarfs, because that makes more sense, or if I would make it where she's going up the stairs. It makes more sense to have Snow White down there with the dwarfs dancing, because that's the scene that they built, is them dancing. But, do I really want to do that? I have no idea. Well, I probably will. And they used to only have like 5 dwarfs. Like, they had Grumpy at the, I think they had Grumpy at the organ, and they had the 3 standing on top of each other, um, to make a tall person so she could dance. And then I think they had one more. So that's only 5. But I put 7 dwarfs last time, because that's how many there are. But yeah, I think when I build the castle, I'm going to build it bigger than I usually do, because then I can put in the fireworks while I'm at it, and I can get this Sleeping Beauty thing just right, and Sleeping Beauty experience, they call it, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Sleeping Beauty experience. Anyway, we can do that, and then make room for the fireworks, because I love doing the fireworks, but the problem is that I can never get them the way I want them. And so this time I think I'm going to build them to where I can get them to where I want them, and it'll be great. I was looking at the Disneyland Castle in one of the Park Pass videos, and I was like, you know what? That is a lookout tower thing, and that's a this and that's a that, and so I was like looking at it in a whole new light and thinking that I could build it better than I usually do. But like I said, I'm definitely gonna try to um, do the fireworks even better. I'm not going to be able to build it exactly the way I see it anyway, because there's skinny parts up there that you can't you can't really build in Minecraft because it's too small. So I'm gonna probably make it bigger. That's a sister again. Cool. So apparently, Mr. Beast's Feastable bars come in Halloween minis as well. Oh, and speaking of that, if you go to your local Walmart or maybe Target, I'm not sure. But I know for a fact Walmart, the all of the Halloween stuff is like 50% off. So you might be able to get a dang good bargain. That includes Halloween candy. They were putting out Christmas candy. They were moving the Halloween candy to a very specific spot, or they had moved the Halloween candy to a very specific spot, and um, they were trying to get all of the Christmas candy on the shelf. I remember doing that. Of course, I remember being very efficient on um getting all the back to school stuff out where it needed to be too. You Halloween candy and back to school stuff. That was like, one of the two things I loved doing. Well, any candy, not just Halloween candy. Um, I liked making sure it was on the shelf to where people could find it. Anyway, my husband starts his new job tomorrow, and I'm hoping he does it. I'm hoping he does really, really good at it, and that eventually we can get all of the um and that eventually we can get all of the um all all the medical bills paid off and all of the um credit card and stuff like that, so that when we need to use the if we need to use the GameStop card or whatever, that we can. Ooh, I was just thinking about something, and I can't do that. I was gonna, bring the candy bucket over. Um, you know, okay, so we have an Easter basket. We were gonna ship the kids Easter baskets. The nieces and nephews, our actual kids. We were gonna send them all Easter baskets. The one year, and we haven't been able to do that yet. But maybe we'll be able to deliver them in person this year. This coming year. Um, I don't know if we're gonna be able to do that, but hopefully. And I still have not complained to um the Great Value people about their chicken. It specifically says chicken rib I didn't read it correctly. I wanted chicken lunch meat, right? And I couldn't find what I was looking for. And then all of a sudden, okay, chicken. Well, no, it's chicken rib, and so it tastes like bad hot dogs and some kind of nasty food. I said like really bad Mexican food at one point, but I don't think that's the one that I was trying to think of actually. Um anyway, it was some restaurant that we had for a while there in one of the towns that we've lived in, and it did not smell good. We didn't even try it because it didn't smell good. Whatever it was. So, oh, no, but anyway, it's not good. It just tastes nasty. Um, I mean, well, it tastes okay, but it smells nasty. And well, actually, it doesn't even taste that great. But anyway, I don't suggest getting it. But I do want to take a picture of the leftover candy for my sister and explain that we got one trick-or-treater. I think I did explain that already, but yeah, we got one trick-or-treater. She's wearing a blue dress, so I'm guessing she was Cinderella. I don't know. I kind of didn't remember to ask. And I thought we were going to have more people, so. Okay. Ew, and a creepy jack-o'-lantern. Okay, so it's a Feastables. It's a Feastables peanut butter jack-o'-lantern. That'd be kind of funny if he's like watching my video and goes, "We don't make a peanut butter jack-o'-lantern." And I'll go, then what's this? Because my sister sent me a picture. Anyway, like I'm hungry right now, and so I'm thinking about food, but um I'm thinking about food, and I just don't feel like um I don't want to stop my stream. I've got to go until 11, but I don't know. And I'm thinking about doing the litter boxes today instead of tomorrow. Anyway, I've got to get some of my story done, even if it's only like 5 pages. I know it seems like a lot, but out of like 15 and a half pages, or was it 14 and a half? I think it's 15 and a half. 5 pages would be great. All I have to do is get interested in actually doing it. But that takes the internet too, because that's where Speechlo is. Dumb question. Okay, so literally, two of these videos. Yeah, that's what you said last time. two of these videos, one of them says 76%, the other one says 73%, and it's been stuck like that since last night. So I may end up just deleting both of them and doing them individually because they are not doing what they're supposed to do. I thought maybe going on the game, you know, doing Wheel of Fortune Jeopardy. I did the family mode because technically it's not Wheel of Fortune Jeopardy Day, it's Disneyland Day. And since I didn't get to do Wheel of Fortune or Jeopardy yesterday, I always do them together because, when you watch them, it's Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy. Or Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune. Depending on what part of the world you're in. Because I remember it being Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy on Grandma and Grandpa's TV. My sister remembers it being Jeopardy Wheel of Fortune. Um, but I always remember that it was Wheel of Fortune and then Jeopardy because if it was Jeopardy when I walked in the room, I'm like, oh man, I missed Wheel of Fortune, So they would watch Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy every single instance of the news. And I don't know why. I don't know why you'd have to watch every single instance of the news. Although, every once in a while, it's like the news at 6 said one thing, and the news at 7 said something else. Like, or like told the story from a even better angle. Okay. I think we have the whole entire thing except for the garage door done. Yeah. Everything done. Just need to pin the garage door and we're all good. The garage door's right there. I always keep it on all because I don't know where to find them any other place. And if I'm looking at all, then I can go and look at everything that's available. It's better for me. Okay, now. Oh, well, that one we just need the. It's really good when it's a bamboo house that's next because all you need is the. Okay, so I put in all the forwards. I didn't put in all the. I put in all the backyard. The back porch stuff. Now, for Sean and Sam Crenshaw's house in town. Two different houses. Sean's got one house and Sam Crenshaw's got the other house. Actually, Sam Crenshaw lived on that street first, but the house right next to them is available, and Sean is afraid that he's going to um, kill Hayden if they don't move out, and then Ashley's going to be mad at him, and they're going to end up getting a divorce, and, he's going to be just as miserable as he was when they broke up, you know? um, but anyway, um, we can't do that. Okay. Anyway, so they moved to town, and they've got um, their first five kids. They've got their first five kids with them when they move out, and they've got Jonah, Daisy, Rose, Lily, and Devin. Lily, Rose, and Devin. That's only important because Lily is older than Rose. For a little while there, they were having one a year. So they had Jonah, and while Jonah was a baby, Daisy was born, and then later in July of the next year, they had Lily. Anyway, they're all a year apart, and then they had Rose, and then surprise, they had Devin. Surprise because it was Jonah, but Jonah's got a different mom than all the other kids. And so Jonah's got a different mom than all the other kids. Then it'll make sense if you read my books. Well, no, I can't do that, can I? Anyway, but then, it was Daisy, girl, Lily, girl, Rose, girl, and they thought, somehow, um, they thought somehow that, um, that Morgan had put a curse on them, even though she's not a witch or anything, that Morgan had put a curse on them that they'll have, five girls before they have any boys, kind of thing, like Katie did with Morgan. Well, if she did, it didn't work because the next baby was a boy named Devin. Because I liked the name Devin. That's my cousin's name. One of my cousin's names, I should say. Anyway, I liked the name, so I decided I would use the name in my book as their kid. Their at that time youngest. Believe me, they're gonna have a lot more kids than that. But anyway, yay. Okay, how close are we now? Okay, the rest of this block, so that's 1, 2, and 3. 3, 3, 3, 3. 4. Oh boy. 5. 6. So that's 42 houses right there. So 7. Wait. 6 or 7. It's like 42 houses to 48 houses. That's ridiculous. We'll get there. We really will. We'll get there. Just haven't gotten there yet. It'll be okay. I did that on purpose. You know what? We're going to take out the 5 now. We'll be here eventually. So yeah, my husband was over there yesterday telling me, yeah, you should probably stop doing whatever I was doing on the internet because it'll probably go faster that way. Well, obviously not. But I mean, obviously not. But that's what he told me. But he was still playing Farm Sim. And he's like, I'm playing single player. No, you weren't. It's not a single player game. And he was spending all that time talking to people, talking to his friends. It's like that still uses the internet. Hello. But yeah, I was reading one of my books yesterday, and then I realized I could have it on I could get the voice to read it to me. Well, the voice wasn't very good at it. She kept reading the quote marks. But at least it was something. It was the old version, not, Speechalo that I was using at the time. Because I knew Speechalo, that's internet. So. And the one, the one big problem with that is that, like, you can't go and have the one voice read all the parts. I mean, all the all of the story, because you've got a 20,000 character limit. So you might have to do, like if you're going to use one voice for every single part, um, and I can't do that anymore, and it does not feel right. But anyway, if you were going to do that, then you'd end up having to, um, you'd end up having to like break up chapter one into like four different pieces or something like that. Depending on how big your chapter is. Like some of my chapters are so short it's not even funny. But then there's other chapters that are like huge, like I said, 15 and a half pages. Oh my goodness. Um, so my husband yesterday was like, I'm gonna have to stop dividing my videos up into 15-minute increments because it was like so many videos. And it's like, I wish I could get to actually do that sometimes. But where it was breaking it up, I was usually talking, so it doesn't work. And like, I don't want to have to be putting in a plug for my books every, during every 15 minutes. I don't think that would work very well. But just in case I haven't said it already, um, so my books are The Rolling Sea Beginnings Book 1, Pirate's Daughter, The Rolling Sea Beginnings Book 2, Misfortune, The Rolling Sea Beginnings Book 3, Hard Times, The Rolling Sea Traitor Book 1, Esperanza's Party, The Rolling Sea Traitor Book 2, The Island, hopefully coming soon. I guarantee nothing. But hopefully coming soon, like before December 1st. Lessons in Love. That'll be the Rolling Sea Traitor Book 1. Traitor Book 3, Lessons in Love. Sorry about that. Then I really want to work on the Rolling Sea Beginnings Book 4, Finding Love. I know it's really weird that, it's Lessons in Love and Test in Love and before that Finding Love, but it made sense. And it's not a romance novel. It does have some romance in it, but it doesn't, it's like on the movies, from the 80s and 90s or whatever, where they went into the room and shut the door and you know what's going to happen, but you don't see that it happened, like on Thomas Crown Affair. All you see is or like in the movie Bloodsport, you know what they did the night before, but all you see is the him get out of bed, put on his undies, and you see his tushy. But but yeah, you know what happened, but you don't see that it happened. You know. I think they had dinner at his place, and then see, doesn't that look like a lovely finished building? That looks lovely. It looks finished. Yeah, it looks perfect. But then you go over here and see that there's more bamboo, more bamboo, more bamboo, and more bamboo. But it looked lovely before that. Yeah. Okay. Anyway. So I am hungry. I think we'll go and take that picture real quick. I wish I could show all of you, but unless I want to, unless, like he gets in advance on his pay, which would be bad. Okay, let's try this again. So I was telling my sister that, that, uh, I sent her a picture of, what candy's left, and, I, told her, this is what's left over, one trick-or-treater, and we've ate some. Problem is, I want this one first. It's a little crunchy. So we were trying to find. We usually get the Mars one, with the M&Ms and M&Ms and Starburst and all that stuff. They didn't have that this year. In the whole store, they didn't have it. So we ended up getting the Hershey's one. It's got Kit Kats and Hershey bars, the almond Hershey bars, and the regular ones. And Reese's peanut butter cups. And just, it doesn't have as much variety. The other one has 6. This one has 4 or 5. Whatever I just said. It just doesn't have a variety. And so, anyway, that's what I ended up eating for breakfast yesterday after the parade. I don't recommend waiting until after the parade to have breakfast. I was not feeling good. So I do apologize on having a chocolate snack in your ear, but I'm hungry. I did have a regular, I did have regular food, a little bit after that, but it was like at that moment I needed to eat something, and eating the chocolate was a lot quicker. So I was kind of overheated because I did get a sunburn yesterday. And, oh, and my books come in hardback, paperback, and the ebook, and they're available on Amazon. And there's a link in the description for, there's 6 links to my 6 books So, one link for each book. Just pick a book and it'll take you right to Amazon so you can see what it looks like and if you think it might be a good book for you to read. Because books make great Christmas presents. For me personally, I'd rather have a physical copy of the book, but then on the other hand, I'd rather have an audio copy of the book. So, like the physical copy just feels like it's um like you gave like you got something. But then on the other hand, I'd rather have the audiobook so I can like be sitting here doing stuff like this and still getting the book, you know? So I don't know if that makes sense to anybody else, but it does me. So, so yeah, I think we had a good day yesterday, actually. And part of what happened yesterday was, okay, he keeps saying that we don't have any money because we really don't, but there's a little bit of money that we can spend for this and that if we absolutely have to. Well, the thing is that neither one of us wanted to cook last night. I didn't feel good. Because like I said, I got sunburnt. When I'm sunburnt, I just kind of feel like I'm, I almost feel like I'm getting a cold, but I'm not. Um, but um, anyway, I didn't really feel like cooking, and he didn't feel like cooking, so we went to In-N-Out. And they actually got my order right for once. Well, as far as I could tell, they did. Um, I always ask for it extra well done, and I every once in a while I specifically say no pink. You would think extra well done, no pink, duh, but no. So this time I'm like, okay, no pink, and I explained that there was a little bit of pink on it last time, and he's like, okay. So he seemed to get it, and I think he went and told them just to make sure. In case you're wondering what I'm snacking on, it's a Kit Kat. Oh, we were giving away full size candy bars this year. And on retrospect, we probably could have gone to we probably could have gone to Walmart and bought some, but that just seems so much more expensive. I mean, buying the big old thing of, um, ho- you know, um, buying the big old thing of Hershey's chocolate, wasn't cheap either, but it seems a lot more well worth it because you get a full size candy bar out of the thing. So, anyway, I like it. But, like I said, I would have rather had the other one. Because it's got regular M&Ms, peanut M&Ms. I think it's got Three Musketeers. It's definitely got Starburst and some other thing, and it had a sixth thing, whatever that was. Anyway, it's got six different ones, and I'm like, I like that, but they didn't have it this year. You know, if I start making money with my books, I can do all that stuff that I want to do. You know, like cancer research, Make a Wish, Toys for Tots, Angel Tree at Walmart, you know, all that stuff. Oh, the fresh food in the food bank. Um, you know, instead of food that's been in the grocery store almost to the expiration date, so by the time the person gets it at the food bank, the expiration date's done and gone. Um, I did like it when they had chocolate cake day though. Like if you get to our food bank around the first, there's definitely usually some kind of cake. And I loved that. That was awesome. You know, because it made you feel like even though you're poor, you can still have cake. Yeah, you can still have happiness through cake. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying to eat this as fast as I can. You know, I'm trying to eat it as fast as I can so it doesn't melt. But then on the other hand, I don't want to bore all of you by, you know, staring at the back of a building. You know, and the only thing stopping me from doing the front of the castle is that I haven't built the rest of Main Street yet on my Disneyland build. But like I said, I'm gonna try to build the castle even better this time. Like, build the Sleep and Beauty experience first, and build the Sleeping Beauty experience first, and then build the castle like around it. I don't think they had the same problems I do though, because you know I've got the problem where uh you know like they can build stuff a little smaller than how I need to build it. I don't see how they did the fireworks. Speaking of that, I tried to build the fireworks and it just does not seem to work. I think our cats are being brats. Hi, viewers. Okay. So I've got 2 viewers, and I'm very happy about that. Hi. So I did not know this, but Pippi Longstocking has Pippi and then Longstocking. I thought it was Pippi, but however it's spelt, that was the Jeopardy answer. And patio furniture, and isn't it funny? She had like, she chose like say J and Z and Q or something like that, and beyond the RSTLNE, and she got the thing. She got that it was Pippi Longstocking. Yeah, right. So, since I couldn't do Wheel of Fortune Jeopardy yesterday, I did it today. Patio furniture, Pippi Longstocking. Did you get to give her kisses? He got to give her kisses. What? At least his ears pinned back and not teeth coming towards you. Mama kisses the boys because the boys are okay with Mama kissing her. I mean, kissing them. Bobby doesn't get kisses because Bobby would try to bite me. No, I think because usually when the thing that tries to do that gets close enough, it's usually a DOG, and no, I was thinking it's usually a DOG and it's trying to bite her. I did not tell him to do that. I'm sorry. I'm eating my Hershey bar. Are we doing something for work? Oh. Okay, I don't know what's going on, so I'm gonna say if you're watching me on um Twitch right now, please follow and chat. If you're watching me on YouTube right now, please like, share, comment, subscribe, notification bell, and I will see you in the next stream or video. I'm actually going to keep recording. Anyway, I'm going to keep recording, I'm going to turn off the audio.